In my head, I knew that I wanted to be in the apartment buildings. That's why I got started in 2007. And I really spent 9 months really heavily marketing in Texas. I probably looked at 150 properties until the point I had a verbal agreement on an 82 unit in College Station. At that point, I had to make a decision. And I said, I can't pursue this because of what's going on in the restaurant. So in my head, I knew apartments was where I'm going to go. So when the crap hit the fan in the recession, I kind of stabilized. And in 2009, I kind of went, shoo, okay, I'm down to 4 restaurants now. Everything's looking pretty good. And so I started getting into real estate. And at the time, there was such a, I got distracted with shiny objects, with a short-term opportunity that in end effect did not get me closer to my goal, which was permanent retirement, right? There was this huge amount of foreclosures on the market in DC area, and the retail market was recovering rapidly. So you get stuff at $80,000, put $30,000 in it, and sell it for $230,000. Right? There's a huge gap. I was like, my gosh, I gotta drive my truck through that. Versus kind of going, yeah, but what was your original goal? Right? The original goal was financial freedom, not to flip houses. Right? It should be an end to a means, and it was just kind of, I don't know, a means to what end. I wasn't exactly sure. So that's what I did. It distracted me for about three years, and then I sort of accidentally got into a 12 unit in DC. That was brought to me by one of my wholesalers. And I was like, I remember now this thing I wanted to do one day when I grew up. And I got into this thing. And then it just occurred to me, and if I keep doing this active house flipping stuff, it's not really what I want to be. Why don't I just do more of this, of this apartment building stuff, which is a lot less work, right? And so that's for me mentally when the shift happened. And then when I essentially made that shift is when the final decline of my restaurants happened, which then took up the next 3 years of my life to try to extricate myself out of that. And it's during this time where I had a fundamental transformation in my mind about what I wanted to do with myself. And it was really, it was really, I really associated myself with my success or the lack thereof. It's like who I felt I was. And I was really looking for financial freedom for myself, I guess, and my family, but it was really about me. And so it was very frustrating for me to fail so miserably at this. And I think the shift came when I kind of let go of that, right? So my worth is not my net worth, right? It's I'm disassociated from that. And that was very freeing at the same time. And I said, what am I going to do? And I said, you know what? I'm going to try to help people raise money and do apartment buildings because I've raised money for house flips. I probably had $1 million deployed for the house flips. I raised some for the restaurants and for the apartment buildings. And people kept asking me how I do this kind of stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start sharing my knowledge with this stuff, even though it really wouldn't have solved my financial issues at all. And then really focus on multifamily. So it was really, I say, a letting go of all that and really thinking, less about me and how can I help people around me. And it's funny when you do that, all of a sudden, I guess maybe success follows you, even though you're not really looking for it. That's kind of what I found. But regardless, that's kind of what happened in the depths of the storm.